There's Narayana.
Hello.
Hello. We're so happy to hear your voice, and now welcome. We welcome you, Srimati. I say Srimati Cherise Banks and Sriman Adam Kruger, the world best couple who always want. Welcome you both. Welcome you both to Sri Pravachana Goshthi, and Sri Devi is the one with Sri Devi is the name for our cute, and actually another name for Sri Devi is Sunday Creation. Do you remember the Sunday Creation? So, okay.
Yes, I remember the sweet name. Thank you.
Because so leisurely God created you with all the patience. Okay. Now Sri Om, that mantram you remember, Sri Devi? You just
Shri Om Shreem
Sri Ai
Namaha.
Jai Ho. Om Shreem Sri Ai Namaha. That is for the
Om Shreem
Sri Ai
Namaha.
Sri Ai Namaha. That is for the goddess of wealth, which bestows wealth to all of you. Now, you know Srini Kandala is here, and Srini's younger brother, now Simha Kandala, Simha. We call Simha Kandala is here, and Jasimana Srinivas. Just say hello to Srimati.
Please send our love.
Yeah. So,
I miss seeing Srini.
Yeah. See, yeah. So, okay. Now Simha Kandala will introduce you to all this. Yeah, Simha Kandala, and then we start the. Yeah.
Hi, good evening, everybody. On behalf of Sri Pravachana Goshthi, this is the Tara Devi Memorial Lecture, and today is the topic has been chosen by the speakers as divine relationships. This is going to be delivered to you by Adam Kruger and Cherise Banks. Adam is an accomplished TV host, producer, inspirational speaker, and meditation and mindfulness facilitator. Adam is originally from Montreal. When he moved to Los Angeles, he became one of the main hosts for This Is LA on CBS, the CBS TV channel, to name just one of his many credits. He also has a podcast called Enhanced Living and a Facebook group by the same name. So, and Cherise and Adam were married at the Self-Realization Temple at Lake Shrine like 10 years back. So it's been a great journey for both of them. And Cherise is originally from San Francisco. She's an actress, host, and Ayurvedic Yoga Therapist. She loves entertainment and coaching people to be the best version of themselves through Ayurvedic consultations, private yoga meditation sessions, sound healing, Reiki, and tarot card readings. She loves being a mom and cares deeply about the environment. They both have a nice, she has a nice son called Jacob Krishna. And we now hand it over to Cherise Banks for the speech.
Yeah, celebrities are here. Please welcome you both, and I invite both of you, please, Adam Kruger and Cherise Banks, both. Jai Narayana.
Yes, thank you so much. What a wonderful welcome. We're so honored to be here, and it was such a blessing when I got to meet you, Mother Satya, and Srini when we were seeing Ramamata. And so I'm so glad that we've stayed connected. You're such a beautiful family, and I love Srini's wife, Gayatri, as well. So thank you for having us. And I think Adam is going to get started, and we're going to talk about divine relationships, if that's okay.
Yes. Please.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you all for having us here. I think it bears importance to define what a divine relationship is, because so many people look to relationships to, like in Jerry Maguire, to complete them. And I'm not even talking just romantic relationships, but with with friendships as well. We look outside of ourselves for our happiness, and that's backwards, because happiness is an inside job. And so I'll use Cherise's and my relationship as an example, just because when we first met, we decided instantly, you be you, I'll be me, and I'm not responsible for your happiness. You're not responsible for mine. Let's find our own happiness and grow together. And so we decided from the beginning that our relationship was going to be spiritual first. And so we're connected in spirit. And then everything else came secondarily. So when you put the focus on any relationship, or of any relationship, on evolving together to become the best possible version of yourself that you can be, from that point, you're not putting unreasonable expectations on the other person, because your wife, your girlfriend, your friend, they can never, ever, ever really give you happiness. That's not something that someone can do. We can be there for each other. We can celebrate together. We can worship each other in the way that we worship the divine within each other and ourselves. But really, you're the one who's in charge of your own happiness. And so when you look at a relationship from the divine perspective, it says, okay, well, our number one priority is to evolve and to self-realize. Our number two priority is to do that together. And so I think that it's very important to set that aside, because in society today, so many people are looking at it from a backwards perspective.
I would agree. I think that it's just so important, like Adam was saying, to put God first, to put your spiritual practice first. And so when you're in a relationship, you can actually have that person help you and aid you in becoming the best version of yourself. And so I knew that when I met Adam, I was looking for somebody that wanted to evolve. And I think that I'm so grateful that we continue to grow spiritually and we continue to inspire each other, which I think is so important. And not just in a romantic relationship, but also with friendships. You want to surround yourself with people who are looking out for your highest and wanting to hold you accountable to rise up to the highest level possible.
Exactly. So with that being said, it's one thing to say to yourself and say to your partner or your friend, hey, let's treat this friendship in a way where we can evolve together. But what does that mean exactly? So I wrote an article not too long ago called, it basically says that relationships are the soul's mirror. And so what does that mean? Basically, as a single person, as someone living on your own, as living on an island, for example, you can do whatever you want. You can, sleep late, you can wake early, you can eat junk food all day long if you want to and leave your dishes everywhere. And nobody's really going to say anything to you unless you have people over and they say, hey, man, what's going on there? Is everything okay? So really, at the end of the day, you can live however you want if you have nobody to answer to, so to speak. But when you're in a relationship with somebody, and whether that's a friendship or a romantic relationship, and in this case, we're talking romantic relationship, you're giving the other person the permission to be that mirror, to basically say to you, hey, listen, that behavior is not okay with me. I'm not good walking through three feet of dishes to get to the sink. I want to make sure that everything is cleaned. And I know that that's a simple, silly thing, but the deeper meaning behind that is simply this. If you are acting out of turn, or you are acting in a way where it's offensive to others because you're acting selfishly and not thinking and stuck in ego instead of soul, your partner is there to call you out on that. And their job is to tell you, hey, this is not okay. Your job is to be able to go, oh yeah, you know what, you're right, I'm sorry. Let me do better. And that's how we evolve, because everything on this plane of existence, when you leave this plane of existence, all that there is love and light. And that's the soul plane, right? And that's where the divine lives. But when we're on the earth plane, everything is relative. So it's light and dark and love and hate and good and bad and all these different things. The duality is what helps us recognize the other. So when you are in a relationship, it's on the person you're with and on you to both be that mirror for each other and to tell each other, hey, look, this can be better. And then you have to be evolved enough to go, yeah, you're right. This can be better. Let me make it better.
Yeah, and really be willing to look at yourself and take the steps that you need to do to better yourself, and then better the relationship. And another divine relationship I'd like to talk about is the parent-child relationship. Boy, that is a just true divine relationship in so many ways. As the parent aspect, being completely selfless and wanting, your child to grow up and be connected to the divine and learn how to be free and independent on their own. There's just so many different roles that you can play. Do you want to share a little bit in terms of the parent-child relationship for divine relationships?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's literally the what's the word I'm looking for? It's like the model of that divinity, the God to person situation. Although at the end of the day, I know that different people have different beliefs with respect to the divine. In my belief and in my knowing, God is everywhere and everything and everyone, and there is nothing that is not God, and there is nothing that is not divine. And so, but when spoken about in different scriptures, it's more of a parent-child relationship where you're trying to learn and grow and evolve, and most people refer to the God figure as father or mother, because that's what we're birthed from, and that is true. And so when you look at the parent-child relationship, I mean, up to a certain age for your children, you are godlike, you are divine, because you are this all-knowing, all-seeing entity that's kind of always there and protecting them and taking care of them. And I think half the battle, and I'm going to call it that, with parenting is teaching your child that you're not perfect in this form as a human being. You're faulted. There are issues, and we're going to make mistakes, and we're going to grow and learn together. And I think for me personally, the biggest growth I've had from being a parent is really learning to keep my temper in check and keep cool and really take the time to allow things to be before I react or respond to a situation. Because so often in life we get caught up in whatever is going on around us, and we feel the need to instantly attack or instantly react. And there's so much power in space and allowing that pause, in giving yourself a moment to collect your thoughts and figure out how to act from a place of power instead of reacting from a place of fear. And so it's very, very important. And I think that the family unit is a wonderful way to evolve and grow. And it is also, I think, one of the most difficult ways, because you're under constant pressure to both provide and also evolve and also love. And I mean, the loving part comes easy, but sometimes a little less easy. Not gonna lie, it does get a little. It depends on me too.
But I wanted to say, too, I think in terms of the parent-child relationship, I think it's God's way of really showing us what divine love truly is, because that love you feel for a child is so divine and just so close to that God energy that we want to seek in everything. And so I always remind our son, Jacob Krishna, I say to him, the love I feel for you is God's love. And I want to know that, that's pure love, and that is what it's meant to do, to teach us that we can find that love anywhere and with and through anyone. I think that's the purpose, is to find that love. It's also with like a romantic relationship, we're looking for the love behind the lover. It's really that divine love that we're always seeking. And a child-parent relationship is just really a perfect way to feel it and experience it, I feel. And I want to add on a little to what you were saying, too. One of the things as a parent, I think, for me, is just surrender. Okay, God, what would you like me to do next? Just surrender and to go with the flow and be in the moment. I think it's such an important thing of being here and in this realm. We need to be in the moment and not focusing so much on the past or the future, but just truly being present, because children surely remind us to stay present.
It's true. I definitely agree with that. And I will say it's definitely a dance between learning how to stay present and allowing, because real, true divine love, real control it, not trying to control the person. Yet when you're parenting and loving divinely your child, you still have to guide them, which is a form of control, because you can't just let them do whatever they want. because A, they could die, and B, they could grow up to become something that that is not acceptable. And what is acceptable? At the same time, you have to teach them. And so there's this, it's a dance between allowing and not controlling, but also teaching and guiding in a way where you're doing justice for the child. Because at the end of the day, if you just allow them to do whatever, they're not going to be able to get along in society. They're not going to be able to do the things that they would love to do and what they're meant to do. Because at the end of the day, we have our dharma, we have our karma, and we have all the different things that are playing out for us in this lifetime that we have to balance and be able to handle properly. So I just want to circle back to the romantic relationship for a second, because I was talking about not controlling, and I had mentioned earlier about ego versus soul. And so often we are connected to our ego. The ego is what keeps us in the body. So a lot of people see the ego as something that needs to be vanquished or removed or whatever. And that's not a possibility. It's not a thing. You live with your ego. It makes a wonderful servant, but a terrible master. So the ego is that I, that me, that this needs to be whatever it needs to be. Your soul is the driving silent witness behind all of it. And so if you can allow yourself to witness whatever turmoil comes up in your daily life as a human being, in your relationship, when you can witness it, you can actually guide it and shape it and change it just like a child. Your ego is basically the child in you. And so it wants what it wants. You can call it the id. If you're going into, Freudian, terms, forgive me. So the ego is basically that which just wants what it wants, and it feels wronged by whatever doesn't happen for it and whatever. But if you can observe it as the soul, and so a perfect example is, your wife or your husband tells you that they're going to do something by a certain time, and you have it in your mind that it's going to happen at that time, and then something happens that they're late. And so the ego is going to get really upset about this because you were told that it was going to happen at a specific time. But your soul knows that everything happens in God's time, right? And God's time is perfect because there's no other thing that exists. So when you're able to observe the soul going, but they should have been home at this time, and I'm upset and I'm mad, if you can observe it, you'll start to come around to, but why am I mad? Is anybody hurt? Did anything happen? No, it's all good. So she's 15 minutes late. Big deal. It's okay.
Yeah.
And so when you have the power to observe it, you can then allow it to just be where it is, and you take the power of the ego away. And that's really, really powerful. And so bringing it back to having that romantic relationship and having that divine connection, one thing that we think is very, very powerful is meditating together.
Yes.
Because when you can sit in the stillness together and be silent together and be in prayer or meditation or concentration together, you're not really together, but you're never really apart. But when you can do that and you can cultivate that practice together, you're able to be in that stillness, in that silence, in that observational place together more often. And that avoids conflict in that divine relationship.
Yep, it's tapping into the oneness. And that's what saved us several times through our marriages. We know that we have each other's back no matter what, and that we are here to evolve spiritually. And that takes us out of any kind of drama or any kind of ego situation. And one of the things I love to do is chant. That immediately helps me knock out anything that's going on and be completely present. And I'm so grateful that I have a partner that loves to do all these wonderful spiritual things with me. And, I recommend just trying little things with your partner, whether it's chanting or mindfulness techniques or meditation, just getting out in nature, because when we're out in nature, you connect spirit into nature, you're instantly, connected to the divine.
Also, I find that in a divine relationship, you're able to be silent with one another. So often and it's ironic that I'm saying this while actually speaking a lot, but so often in life we tend to feel this overpowering urge to fill the silence that's in between people. We're not comfortable for some reason just sitting in stillness. And I don't know what that is exactly. I'll link that back to the ego just going, no, stuff has to happen right now. And so you need to say something. And really, I find one of the most powerful things that we do as a couple is if we go on a hike or we're outside or we're even just sitting down together, just to sit in stillness and silence. We don't have to speak to each other constantly. It doesn't mean that we don't love each other. In fact, it means the opposite. We love each other even more because we're that comfortable that we're able to just be silent together. And we both value that. I think that as you evolve, as you meditate, as you grow, as you find these deeper truths within yourself, because I really do truly believe that we are all equal. There's nobody who is above, beneath anything, anybody else. We all have these truths deep within us. There's nothing that anyone could tell you that you don't already know deep within your soul already. As you evolve and grow, and as you get to that place, you're able to sit in that stillness, and it extends out beyond your personal relationship, that person that you're with consistently, or even the close friendships and so on and so forth. You're able to do it around strangers. You're able, because it's not about, well, what are they going to think about me, or you don't mind that. You don't think about that because you just are. You're in the moment. You're where you need to be. And being present in the moment with your partner is one of the most powerful things you can do.
Yes. Absolutely. And I was going to say, I know Valentine's Day is a Hallmark holiday, and, Adam and I look at every day as a chance to express love to each other and to everyone in our life. But if you do have a divine romantic partner, one thing I want to recommend is just to hold hands and gaze in their eyes and just tap into that oneness that you both share, that connection with God, and that beauty and that love will just, shine through. It's amazing when you just gaze at your partner, just the kind of feeling that it brings about.
I agree. I think that also there is no right or wrong way to be in a relationship or to express that love, however that is. So it's really about being comfortable with who you are and comfortable with what you're willing to be in and not. I think a lot of people too often, again, will put other people's ideas of success, and they'll use that as a yardstick for their own relationship, when that's completely backwards, because you're the one living your life. You're the one who has to live your relationship. You're the one who has to decide what's going to work for you when you go to bed at night and when you wake up in the morning. So at the end of the day, I really do believe that a lot of things in life are simply a choice. So what do I mean by that? Well, when you have a divine relationship, and again, I'm speaking romantically at this point. So when I look at my wife, obviously she's wonderful. She's amazing. We are still a married human being couple. And so we will have our disagreements. We will have places that we don't see eye to eye. We will have arguments. We're not, there's no such thing as perfection other than the fact that you can be perfectly imperfect. But what I will say is this: we choose to be together on a daily basis. We choose to love each other on a daily basis. We choose to say that I love you unconditionally, and that no matter how much we disagree, no matter how much things can get messed up, or there's a miscommunication, or things happen that one person inadvertently causes pain to the other, we're never looking and going, well, it's time for us to get divorced. We're done. That's not even on the table. It's not a thing. So we always know that no matter what, because we're divinely connected first, and it's a soul connection first, that whatever disagreement we're having, we're going to get to a place where we can solve it. And so there's a safety there. There's a comfort in knowing that we're allowed to have a little bit of latitude to slip up and be a little bit identified with ego, and by accident one person gets frustrated with the other. We know that we're going to come back and go, I'm really sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I lost myself for a minute there. Can you forgive me? Of course I can forgive you. Let's move forward. And so when you choose to be in a divine relationship, because look, everything is divine. We've established this. There's nothing that isn't, in my opinion, anyhow, and in my experience. But let's, for argument's sake, say you're choosing a divine relationship with your partner. when you put yourself in that place that you're choosing to be in that divine relationship, you're saying to yourself, okay, well, this is something that it's a choice. I'm not being forced. I'm not being led to believe certain things. We choose to grow together. We choose to be together. We choose to be happy. We choose to not allow outside influences affect our inner peace. And when you make that choice, it's not like you make it once and then you're done. Hey, no problem. No, you have to make that choice every single day. You have to work at it every single day. And the more you do it, like the power of habit, the easier it becomes. But you still have to make that choice. You still have to constantly make that choice. And so I wanted to make sure that was clear, because I think it's important to note that.
Yeah, and I just want to say, just always remembering to lead with love. And I want to say as well, that divine relationship begins with how you treat yourself. So how are you treating yourself? Are you giving yourself the same amount of love that you're giving to others? Because when you come from a completely full place, just full of love and light, you're able to give so much more. And it's so amazing to be of service in that way.
So true.
Yes.
I think I think we should open it up to questions if anyone has any.
Yes.
I appreciate both, especially the Adam Kruger. What all the things he said is exactly true. And I accept, and the divine relationship is the ideal relationship. One really expects, and you really become the torch bearers to the next generations. I really I appreciate your talk, and it was very interesting and informative. Very interesting, and for the generations and youth really has to take you as an example in their life. So I request others to say a few words about this. Dr. Mohan Ananda ji and Dr. Anand, Raji Ananda is also there, and Srinivasa and Simhalu, they are all listening. You want to say? Yeah.
Yeah, so I really appreciate this Simha here. Thanks for the very informative and in-depth analysis of it's a human psych analysis that you have done. It's essentially that's what I look at when I hear your speech. So I just noted down a few points. If that's fine with you, I just want to do a recap. You talked about position of power. Talking with position of power and not of fear. Can you just elaborate with a bit on that on when you say you have to deal with the position of power and not of fear? So is it a general blanket statement for all relationships, or is it only for the romantic relationship that you stressed on? Can you just
well, yes, of course. So coming from a place of power is really coming from a place of soul. So when I say not allowing yourself to come from a fear-based place, yes, it's every relationship, because when the fear comes in, you're going to take action based on that fear of losing the individual that you're in whatever relationship with. And so coming from a fear-based place makes you make decisions that aren't necessarily in your own best interest. So in other words, if I were coming from a fear-based place with my wife, then every action would be taken based on, I don't want to lose her. What if I do this might, no. It allows you to be completely inauthentic when you come from a fear-based place. When you trust and when you understand that you're coming from that soul perspective, you're able to then assert yourself, but in a way that's not overpowering. So when I say power, I don't mean overpowering. I don't mean power over someone. I simply mean coming from your own power. So coming from that soul place, knowing that if something happens where they do something that is not okay, it's okay to say something about it. It's okay to stand up and say, hey, look, that wasn't right. I don't appreciate that. It's not about yelling at the person. It's not about having a really bad tone of voice. It's not about being angry under the surface. It's about letting them know where the boundary is. So coming from that powerful place means you set your boundaries. You know what works for you and what doesn't work for you. When you're coming from the fear place, you don't have boundaries, because your boundaries are whatever keeps the person happy. so that their happiness is more important than yours. And I come from the perspective that all of our happiness is important, but it's not your business to make me happy, and it's not my business to make you happy. It's my business to make me happy, and it's your business to make you happy. Let's meet in the middle.
That's excellent. That's really very, very excellent. And I really wish that we should have done the next time video call. This time we made only the audio call. We really appreciate to see the celebrated couple.
Yes, we would love that.
With the video call, we definitely, and many of them are because of the call I did from the different phone. The regular phone is there. There we have all the thing. So I just connected to the regular plan. If anybody is interested to talk, any questions, let me see. Then I'll come to you. Yes, Dr. Anandaji and anybody is ready to ask anything, please come forward. Yes, Ibn Narayana? Because and Srini is also in the line and many others are in the line. So, because the connection which we gave to you is from a different phone, so that's why we could not hear properly what the others are saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, thank you so much for all the time you gave. Is actually 6:30. Time is very precious, especially when you.
Our pleasure. We love you and thank you so much for having us.
I know.
Yes.
Yeah, I still remember you had the continuous programs in this way. And also my wishes to both of you and many of our Sri Pravachana Goshthi, that is our Goshthi, is a Sri Pravachana Goshthi. They are all enjoying and they really respond. When they respond, and I'll definitely come back to you with all the questions if they have anything. Then again we will have one more discussion with all of us. So I appreciate both of you very much. And Cherise Banks and Adam Kruger and the cute Jacob Krishna. I really invite you. Jacob Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I love all three of you. And let me bless in the Vedic tradition. Blessing, I just want to say. Om Sri Varchasvam Ayushyam Arogyam Avidha Dhanyam Dhanam Basum Bahuputra Labham Sata Samhatsaram Dirghamayu Satamanam Bhavati Satayuhu Ayussevendiyai Pratitishthati Sakala Sanmangalani Bhavantu Ayur Arogya Aishwarya Abhiruddhi Siddhirastu Achandrarkam Vamshabhiruddhirastu Anyonya Dampatya Siddhirastu Akhanda Saubhagya Siddhirastu Uttarottara Abhiruddhi Siddhirastu. Cherise Banks, Adam Kruger and Jacob Krishna. Blessings to all three of you. Yes.
Thank you.
Blessings. Thank you so much. Love you.
Thank you, Cherise, and thank you, Adam. We became one family now. This is the relationship.
Yes.
Now we became one family. That is the great relationship which always, because Bhagavad Ramanujacharya always say, if you come to the Vaishnavism, Sri Vaishnavism, he says, keep relationship with God. That is great thing. That is when you come ultimate relationship, we always have the relationship with the Almighty, and all the marriages have Adam Kruger so beautifully and vividly, with illustratedly, he explained the way, and he is a very great orator. I appreciate him, and the way he speaks, each and every word we could hear, and so accurately the way it could very much audible. That is really, we are so happy with the technology and the connections we have. Sometimes they are never cooperate with us, even though we are ready to. So today is really the best day. We could really give this message to almost more than thousands of people are hearing at the same time. You can look into the Facebook page, Sri Pravachana Goshthi. Already Cherise is already there, registered. Even the YouTube channel, the Sri Pravachana Goshthi, and all of them at one set, they are all listening and they really be benefited. I appreciate. Earlier talk was by Dr. Mohan Anandaji, the NASA scientist. He actually spoke on happiness. As the Adam Kruger just now mentioned, happiness lies within. Happiness is the one inner one is the happiness. That is the real happiness is the inner happiness. I appreciate yeah. And Cherise, thank you so much. And Adam, really, like my son and my daughter-in-law, Cherise is my grandson is my Jacob Krishna.
Aww. We love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Wish you good luck.
Thank you.
You too. Blessings.
Yeah, blessings and blessings to you. Love and
Thank
blessings.
you too.
Thank you. Yeah.
We'll see you soon.
Yeah. So now we continue with the, since Cherise has given him, and really our relationship from Los Angeles, though we are, away from the national, maybe we are in Chicago, still the love and the relationship, what he mentioned, because they are always relations of divine. Divine relationships always remain for long. Now, that's a really good explanation he gave. I appreciate it.
Thank you again.
Thank you again.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. See you. Yes. Om Asmadgurubhyo Namaha Srimate Ramanujaya Namaha Alvar Embirmana Arjiya Divyadrudgale Saranam Srimate Ramanujaya Namaha. Jai Sriman Narayana. Priya Bhagavad Bandhu, just now we had a beautiful talk, a wonderful talk by Srimati Cherise Banks and Sriman Adam Kruger. Now we request Dr. Raji Ananda. Dr. Raji Ananda, are you in the telebridge? If just we really wait for the song. Who are all in the television? Let me see. Then we continue our program. Srimate Ramanujaya Namaha Alvar Embirmana Arjiya Divyadrudgale Saranam. Oh, Raji Ananda, sorry, it got mute. Sorry.
Yes, good evening, namaste. Mohan actually was going to give a comment, but it was muted, so he couldn't.
Yeah.
So because I don't know, but
I know.
Yeah, so it's okay.
Sorry. That's what I was telling, because another thing, today when they were talking, we were in the other phone. And this phone, because some sounds may come, so it got muted. I did not notice that because the same phone I connected for them, so I did not see that it got muted. So, sorry, now I request that, any comment if you to say, you please, what I say, you say, then I immediately pass on to them, then they will really appreciate that some reaction, somebody appreciated that thing. And also now song is...
Okay, I will give the phone to him.
Yeah, please.
Hi, Dr. Satyavati. It was a very, very good talk. I enjoyed very much. In fact, I I learned a lot. But one theme that came out to my knowledge, I always try to make it simple. I think what he said, in my understanding, is every relationship is divine. Every relationship is divine, and we should take it seriously. I don't know, there's a lot of disturbance, I hope.
I know. Maybe some... Maybe somebody in
there is a lot of noise. I don't know whether anybody heard what I said.
No, because I unmuted some of the devotees in the thing. So that's why the sound came, so I immediately muted again. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Please go on.
Should I say what I said, or
Please.
is it already?
Please, no, please continue.
Yeah, no, I was just saying the talk was very informative and very, kind of in depth. But I wanted to simplify my understanding of the whole, conversation is such that every relationship is divine.
Yes.
So you should look at it from that point of view, and that makes people happy. And that's the message I thought he was communicating. I just wanted to say that. That was very, very useful. Thank you.
Correct. So, when you realize that the relationship is divine, then actual life starts. Till the time...
That is correct.
Yeah, actual life starts means it is the maturity comes in mind and understanding comes in life. Then we understand the things in a beautiful way. Yeah, I appreciate it.